Hello everyone and welcome to Death Mute Studio. In this knee-jerk spoiler-free review, I'm going to be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is currently available on Sky Cinema. Let's have it. Zack Snyder's definitive director's cut of Justice League. Determined to ensure Superman's ultimate sacrifice was not in vain, Bruce Wayne aligns forces with Diana Prince with plans to recruit a team of meta-humans to protect the world from an approaching threat of catastrophic proportions. I think it's safe to say that we all know the story of the Justice League by now and how Zack Snyder's Justice League has come to fruition. The theatrical cut was an abomination, a clunky mishmash of two different filmmakers' styles that was comically bad for the general public and a dagger in the heart of DC fans and Snyder fanboys. As someone who hasn't got a horse in the race of DC versus Marvel, I was happy to leave the theatrical version at that, and I'll be honest, I scoffed at the whole release the Snyder Cut hashtag trend, because I wasn't asked. And although I enjoy some of Snyder films, I don't think he's as good of a filmmaker as a lot of people make him out to be. And when news broke of the Snyder Cut actually happening, my only thought was, thank at least I won't have to see that hashtag ever again. Then all the promotional material started coming out, the still images, the clips, the trailers, and I went through two different types of thoughts on it, constantly flip-flopping between one and the other. One being, this is all getting a bit out of hand now, Snyder's clearly loving it, we need to be careful, he really does love the smell of his own farts. And the second being, could this actually be good? Because let's face facts, the DC cinematic universe is a mixed bag at best. You'd be hard pressed to find a film from the DCEU that is universally loved. I mean, maybe Wonder Woman, but the majority, not so much. DC fans would always try the best to protect utter shows like Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman, which always puzzled me. And Zack Snyder took a lot of flack for the tone and style of the DCEU. And a lot of people were just sick of the poor quality of films, including me. Like I said, I don't care about the Marvel versus DC bullshit. I just want to see good films. And that's something that the DCEU really struggled to deliver. Which leads me back to my original thoughts on the release the Snyder Cut hashtag. In my opinion, the Snyder-led DCEU died a slow and painful death. So just let it rest and move on. What had Snyder done to deserve this die-hard extremist loyalty from DC fans? Man of Steel, as much as I do like it, is a film of two halves. Batman vs Superman was shit. For me, he didn't show me anything in those two films alone to make me think he deserves another crack at the Justice League. And I don't mind saying that I was completely wrong. Although it is the same film essentially as the theatrical cut, it's immensely better. I know that's not an impressive statement seeing as the theatrical cut was a steaming pile of pelican shit, but the film makes much more sense now. Characters are actually fleshed out and rounded. Cyborg is an actual character in this film and it kind of feels like his film. Flash is an actual character who isn't there just for comic relief. Even Steppenwolf is more fleshed out and he actually comes across as an intimidating antagonist. It's almost as if Oprah Winfrey took over the script and went, "You get a story arc! You get a story arc! Everyone gets a story arc!" The visual effects have been massively improved, although not perfect. There are some ropey bits, but you can forgive that from a 4-hour effects-driven film, that everything's not going to be perfect. And because the characters are actually engaging, you're more invested in the story anyway. The pacing of the film is good and it genuinely doesn't drag. And although you are aware of the time, because it's nearly 4 hours long, it doesn't seem like a slog. The score was incredible. Every time I heard Wonder Woman's or Superman's theme, I got goosebumps. The action scenes were great, they were well choreographed, they had weight to them, and it just didn't seem like a CGI throw-up fest. The film is a massive improvement from the theatrical version, which will please a lot of people. But the film itself isn't groundbreaking or mind-blowing. It's just a general run-of-the-mill comic book movie. But it was never about being groundbreaking or mind-blowing. It was about telling a coherent story for once, because the DCEU always seem to struggle with that. And if you ask the general movie-loving public, that's all they want. That's all we've ever wanted from the DCEU. To feel that our time and money hasn't been wasted. To escape reality. To see characters that we love portrayed properly with care and understanding. And this iteration of Justice League finally delivers that. As a film, it's nothing special or unique in a traditional sense. It's unique in other ways because this film transcends that. I know that sounds pretentious as but hear me out. It's not about being the best film or even the best comic book film. Its message is so much more powerful than that. It's about second chances, it's about righting wrongs, about perseverance and proving everyone wrong. Zack Snyder's Justice League is about vindication. Vindication for Zack Snyder for putting all the doubters to bed, that his version was infinitely better than the theatrical version, and that he could make the DC film that we've all been waiting for. Vindication for the studio for backing a filmmaker completely, showing faith and giving him the finances and freedom to see his vision through. And most importantly, vindication for Snyder and DC fans that had total belief in Snyder's vision and shown us that fans actually do have a voice and can make an impact. This film is an absolute achievement for many reasons, and it should be revered as one. It's a well crafted, at times tense and completely enjoyable comic book epic, and is hands down the DC film we've all been waiting a very long time for. And I genuinely believe this film will be the start of a new trend in cinema, where there will be life beyond the theatrical release, and that studios now have a chance to rectify their meddling and mistrust in their own filmmakers. Zack Snyder's Justice League is a triumph. If you haven't watched it yet, treat yourself to a 4-hour you to Joss Whedon. If you have watched it, what do you think? Do you agree with my initial thoughts? Let me know on social media and the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And to Zack Snyder, fair play to you. Ta-da.